Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Spiritual Dowsy. I'm Dowsy LeMay. Thanks for stopping by and spend some time with me wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch these videos, and I really hope that they're helpful. I hope that they're used for your highest good as you continue on your own spiritual or healing path. So today I want to dive into fear. I want to talk about fear. I think it's really important and pertinent to the things that are happening in our life today, which is happening a lot of stuff around health, pandemics, around a virus. I want to talk about what it is, how it comes about, the power associated with fear and how it impacts you as the creator, and how the fear causes you to give away your power, and then maybe some tools that could help you overcome fear in your own life to move towards a more peaceful, balanced, and centered life in your reality. So before I go any further, know that these are my truths and my experiences that have guided me down my own spiritual path. They don't have to be yours, so please use your own discernment, take what resonates with you, and leave the rest. All I ask is that you keep an open mind. Okay, so what is fear? So fear to me is a byproduct of something else. Fear comes about because you and I, or all these other creators, believe fully embodied into the illusion that we are separate from Source. We believe we are so disconnected from Source and so separate from Source that that which is outside of us has no part of us and we have no part of that. And because of that, we believe that that which is outside of us will cause us harm, pain, take away things, and make us suffer or ultimately lead to death. It is an illusion because if you know you're the creator, and you know that if you were separate from Source, you wouldn't even exist. So firstly, understand that it's illusion. It's you believing that you are separate from Source, when in reality, you are always connected with Source. You are always connected with the love energy that is abound, that surrounds you. But it's because of the illusion of which you believe, and the veil has been pulled over you, in the identity that you are separate, you have the byproduct of fear. Fear is the aspect, the energy that is associated with thinking that something outside of you is going to cause you harm. That which is not connected, or you have nothing relatable to it, is going to cause you pain and suffering. It is a very powerful energy, but it is the same energy as love, except that it's the illusion and been twisted around and caused into something called fear, right? As us, as individuals, as creator beings, as we go about our day, we are confronted with the decision of how do we experience the things in our life and how do we manifest things in our reality. We are confronted with, do you choose love or do you choose the illusion of fear, right? They are both very powerful and both very potent, because fear is a very powerful manifester, as much as it is with love too. Love is a very powerful manifester as the creator and in our reality. The difference to me is that love energy is a lot more harmonious, it's a lot more ease, it is connection, it is expansive energy, right? So it moves you out of your human container, your self-contained little world. It allows you to look at other people, incorporate other people. It allows you to connect to your higher self and to other energies that are like your oversoul and galactic and guidance and your angelic guidance, etc. It is expansive in that level, and it is of higher vibrational energy compared to fear, right? Love is a high vibration energy which activates your DNA codons more profoundly than what fear does. Fear energy to me is just as powerful and as potent, but it's very restrictive and it contracts, right? It restricts, it limits, and it contracts only into yourself. You can only think within your own little human container, right? Think about when you go into fear. You think only about yourself. You think about your safety. You don't think about other people. You become very myopic in your vision. Unlike love, when you are in the love state, you get to see all the possibilities. You can open yourself up to the infinite pathways, infinite ways of things can go, and you can understand it and see clear. Fear, you become very myopic. You become tunnel vision. You can't see clearly. Things become very short-sighted for you, right? You cut yourself off from your higher self and your guidance and other people, right? The other aspect of fear is very low vibrational. The wave and the vibration is a lot slower and longer. You don't activate your body's full ability as you would with love, right? Love allows you to fully activate your body to its highest potential, where in fear, it doesn't allow you to activate all your DNA codons to become fully activated into its full potential. So that to me is the difference between love and fear. Both are very powerful, both are very potent, just one is a lot more restrictive and the other one is a lot more expansive. So you think of love as like ease and harmony, and you think about fear, which is about dis-ease and disharmony, right? That's important because I'm gonna touch upon that a little bit later. But remember that fear causes you to be dis-eased and disharmony, right? You're not in harmony and you're not in ease, and it has dis-ease and disharmony. So what happens is that you as the creator, when you take on the energy of fear, fear itself is very potent, it's very infectious, and it impacts your entire energetic system, all right? It impacts you mentally, emotionally, energetically, and physically. It also impacts your future timelines and it impacts your past timelines, right? So mentally speaking, when you go into fear, you leave the now moment. You're no longer able to be present with what's happening in your world in the current moment, right? You go off, you take off and you start thinking about the future, you start thinking about the past, right? You think about the past stuff that has happened, that has caused you pain, and you're trying to avoid it, and you're thinking about all the future stuff and all the things that could go wrong, and you're trying to avoid it, right? You can't focus, you're mentally scattered all over the place, and you're not in the now moment, you're somewhere else. Emotionally speaking, because of that whole mental thought and you being not in the now moment, you're everywhere else, you're all over the place. You're emotionally unbalanced. If you're probably mostly stressed out, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're afraid, you are angry, frustrated, and you're thinking about the future, that leads to anxiety and stress, and you're thinking about the past, that leads to like depression and sadness, and you're thinking about when you're thinking about all these other things, but you're feeling all this emotional dissonance because you're not in the now moment, you're not in ease, you're not in harmony, you're not centered, you're not balanced. You're emotionally all over the place, right? Energetically speaking, you could be manic or depressive, you could be very high energy, you could be very low energy, right? You're very chaotic, you're very, your energy could be much like that fight or flight type of sensation where you're just like all tense and you're running around and you're trying to stay safe, and you could end up depleting your own energy because you're so afraid and you're so trying to keep yourself safe that you spend all your energy in these emotional and mental states that your energy gets depleted and you feel lethargic, you feel tired, etc. And then in the physical body follows the energetic. So what happens physically is that your heartbeat is going 1,000 beats per minute. Your adrenal glands are pumping and are becoming depleted. Your adrenaline is rushing. You're energetically very high. Your body feels tensed. Your hands feel closed off. Your head's on a swivel because you're in that fight or flight type of sensation, right? With that stress and etc. So energetically speaking, full energetic body, you are having a major impact from fear. It has taken over. And you think about that energy, you think about that potency and the power that is running through you right now, and that you as a creator are now creating every single moment, every single seated moment going forward with the exact same energy. What do you think that's going to bring back to you when you start creating out of that energy? You're going to manifest more of that energy back to you. In fact, here's a question I ask you. Do you as a creator want to create the worst case scenario in your life? That's a true question. Do you as the creator want to create the worst case scenario in your life? The answer should be no. But unfortunately, when you go into fear and you're creating with the fear energy, that's exactly what you're doing. So let's think about that. I had talked about how you were basically on fire and you were potent and powerful with this fear energy running through you. And because you have this full support of that energetic system in the belief and the thoughts and the actions associated with fear, you are now moving into the future. That's where your headspace is, thinking about all the bad things that could happen and how fearful you could be. And what you're doing basically in this energy is manifesting the worst case scenario through the law of attraction, through your energetics, through your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions. The worst case scenario is being brought to you. It becomes self-actualized and it becomes reality within your world. and you're bringing the worst case scenario. So let me give you an example. I remember one time when I was driving a car and I felt that car was not inspected. It was not up to date with a lot of things. And I was so afraid and fearful that I was going to get pulled over, I was going to get arrested, etc. So every time I got in the car, and every time before I was going to get in the car, I was thinking about the worst case stuff that was going to happen to me. I was so fearful. The way I was driving, and I was tense. Energetically speaking, I was so nervous and fearful, and I was thinking that every single car was a cop car, and I was going to get pulled over and arrested in the whole 9 yards. And wouldn't you believe it? It's self-actualized, because that's what fear does. It allows you to tap into the energy of fear, and you're manifesting the worst case scenario for you, and you're bringing that into the reality, because of the law of attraction and the universal love of that is the universe cares not whether it's good or bad. It just cares that you are creating and wants to help you expand on that creation. It brings it into your reality, and boom, you have the worst case scenario that happens. So be mindful as the creator, because that is exactly what's happening. You are going to manifest the worst case scenarios when you are dealing with the fear energy that is running through your energetic system. All right. So one of the things I talk about in my previous video is the healing mindset. This is in particular important to the next topic I want to talk about, which is how fear causes you to give away your power. All right. Fear in itself causes you to give away your power. And in the last video I did, it's called the healing mindset. And I'll use this example to help you understand how fear makes you give away your power. When you are in fear and you are fearing the things that are happening, what essentially happens is that based on the things you fear, you give your power away, and then what you do is you adjust how you act, how you be, and how you go about your day to avoid the fear or the power that you've given away. All right. So in the healing mindset video, I talk about how because of this virus that has come about, a lot of people have given their power away to something like the virus. And what happens is that you, as a divine being, if you know that you're the creator, you sit there saying, I go about and I create my reality, but now what I've done is that a virus has come in, and I believe now that this virus, something outside of me, is going to impact me. It's going to cause me pain and suffering. It's going to cause me to ultimately lead to death, and fear is basically being promoted out of this. And what happens is you're saying, my body does not have the ability to heal itself. My body does not have the ability to defend itself. My immune system is not able to handle whatever it's thrown to me. So because of this fear, you have given away your power to say, my reality and my ability as a divine being is I'm able to heal from whatever it is that I want to heal from. This body is in perfection. It is divine. It has the ability to defend itself. It has the immunity to protect itself and to handle anything that it's thrown at them, that I will not be affected. That's what's occurring out there. When you go into fear, much like this virus thing that's coming about, you're giving away your power, and then what happens is you adjust your way you act, right? So what happens is with this virus, what did we do? We gave away our power to it, and we started acting in ways that are in ways of victimhood, right? So you become a victim. You say, I need to wear a mask. I need to keep myself 6 feet away from people. I need to disinfect everything. I need to socially isolate myself. I need to leave my groceries or my delivery boxes outside for a few days so that I don't bring in the germs. I fear death. I want you to take that example and understand that that is only at one level that you've given your power away to fear. This just happens to be a very dramatic and real event that's occurring. And I want you to be mindful of this, because you should ask yourself this question. How are you, as a creator, giving away your power to fear? What in your life that you are fearful about, that you have given your power away and adjusted who you are, how you act, how you are being energetically because you fear something? This is happening all the time. every minute of your day. Every day you are doing something about giving away your power. Is it illness? Is it fear about death? Is it fear of rejection? Is it fear of not being accepted? Is it fear that you're going to be hurt? Is it fear that you're not going to be, that you're going to be compared, that you're not good enough? There's something out there that we all fear, that we have given our power away, and has caused us to adjust who we are. And that energy, that infectious energy of fear, is affecting our entire system, and we are promoting that in our reality and perpetuating that in our reality, whether we know it or not. It is something that I behoove you, or I implore you to start questioning in your reality. What in my life do I fear that I have given my power away that is causing me to adjust who I am, and also that I have given my power away, and it's causing me to change my behavior and my actions, etc. I say this because in regards to this virus thing, right? We have given our power away, right? And a lot of people are so fearful of this thing, and that they have adjusted exactly everything about themselves, right? They've changed themselves, they've changed the way they think, they've changed the way that their emotions are around this, they changed their energy, and they changed everything else, right? They've put the energy into the identity that they're going to get sick. They're going to get infected by this thing, and they need to protect themselves, and that they're going to be a victim, and they're going to do all they can do to try to protect themselves from it. That energy is what you're putting out into the universe. And the universe says, if that's what you want, I will bring that about for you. And a lot of times, what people will end up doing is manifesting an illness that has symptoms very much like what we're being told that they have, and they may not even be real symptoms associated with the real virus. It is a lagging effect. The physical body is a lagging effect of the energetics, right? So when you sit yourself, as I mentioned earlier, when you sit yourself in fear, you put yourself in dis-ease and disharmony, right? Because you're disharmonious within your body, your energetic is all over the place, and you're stressed out, and everything is causing you to be unbalanced and all over the place, you cause disease within your physical body. The physical body must match the energetics, right? So what ends up happening is that you may end up manifesting things within your reality, and you're drawing upon the law of creation, upon the law of attraction in the universe, and because you believe you're going to get sick, or you believe you got to get protected from it, you can manifest into your reality a disease, a dis-ease, to confirm that your whole energetic system is at dis-ease. So be extremely mindful as you as the creator to understand that fear, a very potent, a very infectious, a very powerful energy, is helping you manifest whatever you are putting your intention into. And whether that be for your highest good or your not for your highest good, you are going to manifest something that in alignment with what you are thinking and believing. And if everything else matches into it, well, what do you think you get? The worst case scenario, or the things that you're putting your beliefs into. So be extremely mindful of that. And I hope that what I'm talking about is it resonates with you a little bit, and it gives you just a second thought about what you're thinking about and the fear that you have in your life. So let's take a deep breath. Right? Summarize. Your creator, fear is illusion. It's a powerful energy, and when you use it to use that energy as a creator, it helps you manifest the worst case scenarios in your life, and that you give your power away. And when you're doing that kind of stuff, you can manifest things that you really don't want, you've been trying to avoid, but because you're putting all your beliefs and your thoughts into it, it comes to reality. So what are some things that you could do as the creator to help you overcome some of these fears, right? Here are a few tips. These aren't all of them. I think these are just useful things that could help you. I do some more research on the internet if I were you, but I think these are pretty useful things that have helped me along my own spiritual path. So number one, you could avoid it or remove it, right? Be careful on the avoiding side. Most cases, if you have a fear that's been brought into your reality, if you have an experience around fear that's been brought into reality, the likelihood is there's something about you that that you're being catalyzed to look inward. But in any given case, there is avoidance and there's removing the fear, right? Much like, let's say you had a knife in the house that was laying on the counter and you had kids running around. You were fearful that the kids were going to get hurt because of the knife. Easy solution, avoiding the whole thing is taking the knife, removing it, and putting it away. Pretty simple. So if you can't remove it or avoid the situation around fear, then I would say what you should do next is number 2, is that you decide to fully embrace it. Fully embrace the fear. Dive into it. Understand it completely. Talk about it, right? The more you talk about it, the less power you give to that fear, the more you claim back that power. The more you know about things, the more you understand what's happening in the situation, the more power you have, right? Knowledge is power. The more you talk about these things, the more you fully understand the fear, what is causing the fear, all the unknowns, and you bring certainty into an uncertain time frame, the more you're able to look at it logically and say, this is an irrational fear, right? The more you get to understand that this fear that you may have, which is 9 times out of 10, is an illusion and not real, right? Fear is also an acronym, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. So fear, as you talk more about it, as you understand about it, logically speaking, as you go through this whole thing, you get to understand that what you had held as a fear, as an illusion, as false evidence appearing real, doesn't truly exist, and you can finally say, oh, this isn't something I need to change my whole life about. It doesn't mean anything. It is false, right? And therefore, you can overcome your fear in that way, right? I think that's a very powerful way. The more you put your intention into it, the more you look at it, the more you understand it, the more you can become take back your power, because knowledge is power, and you can understand that these fears are illusions, false evidence appearing real, and you can move off of that and overcome your fear in your life. Another thing that you can do, number 3, is what I would say, meditate. I love meditation. Meditation is a great tool for you to say, I'm feeling all this fear energy, it's causing all this dissonance within me, and I want to take a time out. I want to pause that energy so I can break that energy and move into a different space. So I go into meditation, I bring myself into centeredness, I understand these fears, I feel that, and then I say, what is it that I want to feel? I feel and recall memories that make me feel loved, connected, peaceful, and then I can move from that energy and then I can move forward with that, seeding the next moment with that energy. So meditation is a great way to pause what is happening, break it, move into a different space, and then create from that energetic space, right? Another thing you could do is transmute the energy, right? If you're holding on to a lot of fear, sometimes you go out and transmute the energy. Do something that takes that energy and turns it into something useful. Go for a run. Put that energy into doing something creative that you like to do. All I say is do something healthy, transmute it into something healthy versus saying, taking fear and jamming your face with a bunch of junk food. That's probably not a healthy transmutation of that energy. I highly recommend something more in line with, in a healthier way, like going out and exercising or something to burn out that energy, right? And then lastly, what I would say is, go out and get some help. If you have a hard time doing it yourself, go out and get some help. Go follow somebody. Go be with some people who can help you move through the fear. We are meant to do this together, not alone. And so if you're alone and you're having a tough time with this fear, go find somebody to help you get through and move through this fear, or help you go through the inner work so that you can heal the things that are inside you that is causing you fear, and you can take back your power. So I hope that helps you. I hope wherever you are in the world, understand that fear is really being blown up and expanded exponentially out into the news, and it really requires us to do some inner work. But I hope the things I talked about allows you to get a little better insight about fear and maybe help you move into a better place that is more around love, peace, balance. And if you guys had any questions, please reach out to me. Email me at spiritualdiocese@gmail.com, or contact me on my Instagram or Facebook. And if you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, and hopefully they help you. And I love you wherever you are in the world. We'll say goodbye today, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.